Hi guys, how are you today? I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. For those of you who are new, my name is Eva, and for those of you who are returning, as always, thank you so much for coming back and welcome to another MLM shit show. Today we are back to talk about a few MLM horror stories, and it's been ages, ages since I did one of these videos. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I had some issues with reading. I was just getting really annoyed, and then while I'm editing, it takes a lot of time because I make so much mistakes while reading. But obviously I think it's really important to share these stories, so I'm back. I decided to try to do them a little bit more regularly from now on. So yeah, I don't really have anything to rant about today, which doesn't happen very often, but I am a little bit late. I'm 15 minutes late with recording this video, and I am on my lunch break, so let's just get into it straight away. But of course I do need my glasses. Alrighty, so the first story was sent to me by one of you girls, and thank you so much for sending this on. I know it's been a while, but here I am. I'm finally gonna read your experiences. So she had two different experiences. So let's start with the Herbalife party. This was about 15 years ago when I was just a kid. I lived with my parents in this fairly new neighborhood. Everyone seemed nice, and since there were not a lot of houses bought yet, the community was pretty tight-knit. Is that the saying? Well, I think that is the saying. Anyways, this one time my family got invited to this neighborhood welcoming party in the house next door. I remember my mom dressing up really nice and all, and my father missing work that day so that he could go. Then we arrived and it was a whole Herbalife pitch complete with samples and all. I feel like my microphone is in my face. I don't remember much because I was so young. All I know is that I was bored out of my mind and it felt like a school class to me. That and oh how they didn't wash the glasses they gave us the samples in. They served the shakes and then gave us water in the same glass. Ew, that's nasty. It was absolutely disgusting. I just remember seeing things floating in my water. Oh, that would make me puke. Second story, the I love your stuff cold message. So a little backstory. I used to do adult content a while ago. It was just something fun that I liked doing, and it helped me with the bills too. I promoted my OnlyFans and stuff on Instagram and other social media, and there was this person I followed back then. Let's call them Brie. Brie was pretty cool, shaved head, retro alt mixed with cottage core aesthetic. They were just so cool, and I kind of had a crush on them, not gonna lie. Eventually Brie followed me back, and eventually I got a DM. The typical, oh my god, I've been following your page and I love what you're doing. I was starstruck, and that's literally what I replied. Then they kept going on like, you know, I have this business opportunity and I know you'd kill at it because you're just so cool. Are you interested? And I was, because I didn't know what an MLM was at the time. Enter the time living in Honduras actually saved me from joining a pyramid scheme. It was a pitch for Monat, which is not here still, thank goodness. And I say here still because I don't even know if I pronounce Honduras correctly, and I'm so sorry. We kept in contact after that somewhat, and they eventually left the MLM. But then I learned what they were, and it just killed the vibe for me. I mean, this person who I thought was so cool said that to me just to get me in their downline. Never took a bigger blow to my ego. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's really rude. I mean, the fact that they're saying, whoa, I've been looking through your profile. You're so amazing. You would be so good at what I do. I'm sorry that hurt your ego. I hope you're okay now though. And I hope you know you're awesome. Okay, so let's move on to a few stories that I got from Reddit, I believe. The first one says, the time I went to a job interview that ended up being an MLM recruitment. So we heard these kind of stories all the time before. So this was ages ago. I think I was 22 at the time. I'm 34 now. And a friend from the JC I was going to knew I was looking for part-time work, told me her job was hiring. But the way she made it seem was like her employer was looking for a front desk or a receptionist, saying, oh, you set appointments and call customers. That was the gist of what she told me the job was about, so I assumed some basic desk job. I go to the interview, which should have been my first clue that this place was suspicious, because it was located in a trailer that was being used as an office space. No sign or identification telling me what the company was or anything, so I felt super uncomfortable, but figured I'd see what it was anyway. So I walk in and it was super sparse, like literally a desk in the middle of this empty trailer with a few chairs, with a small coffee table and a potted plant. There was another person in the waiting room to be interviewed, which made me feel better. Funny thing that I didn't really think about until after, but the guy was waiting on his interview in jeans and t-shirt while I was wearing business casual. The only thoughts I had about it at the time was, this is probably one of his first interviews ever because he's dressed so inappropriately. Little did I know that it wouldn't have mattered if I came dressed in business casual or PJs, as the second thing I noticed were a pile of pamphlets on the table and Vector Cutco, the knife MLM. I had been familiar with this company as my grandparents owned a set of Cutco knives that they had bought from a friend of my cousin's because they felt bad for them. You'd think, I heard those knives are really expensive, by the way. You'd think that I'd have walked away at this point, but curiosity had the better of me, so I wanted to see if there was an actual job or was this just a recruitment thing. When I got to speak to the woman at the desk, one of the first questions she asked me was, so would you like to work with Vector? I responded with what my friend had told me about the job and that I had been expecting to be interviewed about desk work. She informed me what the job actually was and how payment worked in terms of how I would be paid. And I noped the hell out of there as quickly as possible. I'm so glad that I had even the smallest bit of information about MLMs and pyramid schemes to walk away when I did rather than getting sucked into that nightmare. So yeah, that's good that this person already knew about Vector and Cutco thanks to her grandparents. This is just crazy, and her friend was probably told or implied to kind of lie about what the business actually is. I mean, what the job actually is. If they said the truth, a lot of people wouldn't show up for those interviews. But anyway, the next story says, my nightmare experience with Cutco Vector marketing. Very long post. So I guess when I was picking these stories, I guess I was focusing on Cutco and Vector. I don't even remember. I got these screenshots a long time ago, literally months ago. But anyway, my God, I'm blind. In 2018, I entered my final semester of high school and was looking for a second job to earn more cash before moving to college. Like fate, I received a letter with an employment opportunity boasting $17 per hour pay. At this point, the most I'd worked for was $11 per hour, and I worked my way to that point. Surprise, surprise, this was Vector Marketing Cutco Knives. I went in for an interview, they hired me, and so began the 3-day training program. I don't want to exaggerate, but the training days are where they really brainwashed you into thinking this job is legitimate, a good idea for employment. I remember them telling me, an 18-year-old, stuff like, homeowners spend thousands of dollars on furniture and kitchen items. Don't be afraid to push the big ticket items in every sale. Or, most people would rather deal with you than big box stores or home goods places. This stuff probably seems to be obvious red flags, but please consider I was young, still am, and was desperate to pad my savings. And these training days were 10 to 12 hours long. Oh my God, that's way too much. They were a mixture of breaking you down and exhausting your mental energy while also deepening your commitment to this job, because by this point you had committed hours of unpaid labor to it. That's very true. That's a really shitty but probably good manipulative tactic to get people to stay after the 3 training days. 2 key elements of this story happened during training. I downloaded their app, which had me sync my contacts, and my boss took an incredibly dorky selfie with me. Remember this for later. So the job began, and it was everything you've seen on this page. The basic formula. They pressure you to call every person you know, mostly friends, parents of friends, old teacher, coaches, trusted adults, etc. and try to set up meetings, sales pitch with them in their homes. Creepy. Then you did the most asinine? I don't know what that word means. Please let me know down below. Face-palmingly stupid demo of the knives, and then try to guilt this person into buying some. For the first 5 to 10 of these pitches, you were to call a supervisor and take them through what you sold. I also remember Cutco told you not to book any appointments with family members early on, probably because any relative with common sense would set you straight. And the $17 per hour applied to those pitches, which were at best a single hour long. And you set up the meetings yourself, so you're only gonna make that wage if you bust your ass and annoy the fuck out of everyone in your life. Also true. So here's where this became a nightmare, because so far this is just a typical MLM experience. After a little over a month of working here, I left the US for a mission trip to South America. A couple days into the trip, my phone started blowing up like an insane amount. Text, Snapchats, Twitter, Insta DMs. It seemed like my whole contact list was trying to reach me. It seemed like that because that's exactly what was happening. It took me a little while to figure out what was going on, and the poor cell service did not not help my sleuthing or my growing anxiety. Basically, Katko has taken my contact list and sent every person a text message inviting them to come work there. The swell workplace that your good friend, their name and last name I guess, loves you so much. As a cherry on top, the message was followed by a selfie of me and my boss, just in case you wanted to see me smiling like an asshole, giving you a big thumbs up in a button-up and sweater. Here's the immediate, somewhat juicier fallout, aside from the general horde of people wanting to know what the fuck was going on. First, ex-girlfriend wants to know why her mother and her sister got these texts. Oh my god, so awkward. Extended family and friends I hadn't talked to in months, years, calling and texting just to hear my shameful MLM downfall explanation. I was a part of multiple clubs, student organizations, and had the teachers who ran them's phone numbers. Really awesome experience explaining just how stupid I am to each one of them. Because they were my contacts, all the greetings of the text Katko sent out were formatted "Hi there, blank," with the blank being whatever name I had saved for them. Oh my god, which would have worked, except I'm an idiot who can't remember people's names and puts identifiers like work or biology or just a slew of emojis, all of which made it into the text that were sent out. Not to mention people whose names I'd spelled wrong or who had less than flattering substitution to their actual name. Oh my god, that is so embarrassing. I also do that as well. I put them like at work. I still have like their name and the previous workplace, and then the new co-workers, their names, and then the current workplaces as well. I mean, how are you gonna know, you know, especially if they have like a very common name. But yeah, I definitely don't save anyone as not flattering. Everyone on that trip went to my high school and got the text as well. We were working really hard long days in the intense heat, and everyone needed an outlet for a little humor and uplifting. I became that outlet. Some of the guys even found the machete salesman and brought me there to see what I thought of his product before they made their purchases. To be honest, that was pretty funny. Yeah, it is. To wrap it up, I quit immediately. I got another job waiting tables, one of the best jobs I ever had. I was devastated and embarrassed, but have grown a lot since then and have been laughing at it all for a while now. I did get one more savor, calling my boss from the little convent I was staying in 2,500 miles away in SA and giving him a piece of my mind about the industry before demanding they stop texting people and quitting. Too bad the texts were on an automatic system and kept being sent for another several hours. Shouldn't that be like illegal or something? I mean, I guess they did give all of the contact numbers by will when signing up for the app, but that's just really weird that they even requested this and then they served themselves and just texted everyone from someone else's contact list. It's still like, even though he knew what he was doing, he was giving them their contact list, but it still seems very wrong that they still contacted every single person. I don't know, it's just so messed up. Running out of time, damn it. So the last story is a shorter one. It just says, I joined an MLM. It was back in 2016, I think. I've been watching a friend post all of these amazing things, staying home more with her kids, going on cruises, making so much money. I was in awe. Another good friend was in her downline and was also talking about the amazing benefits. After months of watching them win, I decided to sign on as well. I remember thinking that I wished I had tried some of the products before signing on, because then I could give my own recommendations. I ordered enough product from the store to make my monthly quota and then started ordering stuff from eBay that people were getting rid of. I actually liked some of the products, but most of it was pretty meh. I tried so hard to like the greens, but it was so nasty. I started to realize that something was up when my direct upline told me that I wasn't allowed to give away products. I was trying to run some sort of BOGO deal on a post. That weirded me out. Like, isn't this my business? Yeah. I ended up leaving after just a couple of months because I wasn't getting orders and we just couldn't maintain the monthly quota ourselves. So thankful we didn't go longer. So it doesn't really say which MLM it was, but what are the greens? But yeah, definitely. I mean, it's your business, you're your own boss, but then when you try to do something, then they're like, well, you can't do that. But it's like, how? If I'm my own boss and this is my own business, why can't I do this? Just proves that you're not actually your own boss, but I think most of us who are watching this video know that by now. But yeah, this felt a bit rushed. I am sorry, but I do need to end this video here because I'm kind of out of time for today. But it wasn't too bad. I wasn't too bad with reading. I don't think I made too many mistakes. I didn't get as frustrated as I was getting frustrated a few months ago while I would record these videos. So either the break was good for me and I'm gonna start having issues after a while again, or maybe I just learned how to read since then, because I have been reading a lot of posts out loud and like MLM fails and other types of videos. So hopefully maybe I'm getting better at reading. I hope it wasn't too bad for you guys either. As always, if you have enjoyed it, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please click that like and subscribe button. It will really help me out a lot. Do leave a comment if you have any opinions. You can tell me which of the stories you think was the most interesting or the most frustrating for you. For me personally, I think like the most funny one was actually with text, just sending all the text messages to everyone on your contact list. Funny because it didn't happen to me, but if it did happen to me, I think a hole in the ground would open up and I would just be sucked into that black hole, never to be seen again. I lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was saying, but yeah, like and subscribe. If you're not coming from my social media, feel free to check me out. I'm gonna link my Instagram down below, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.